Ever wonder what a star looks like with the light turned down, the actual inside sphere or spheres? Hello and welcome. A little bit of a fun while we're waiting for that 14-inch telescope. Thanks for subscribing. Welcome. I'm Bruce Schwartz, and I'm an amateur researcher. I'm using my own techniques, and of course, I'm following many other techniques. I've studied all the techniques, like everyone else has done, the proper ways of editing photos, but we each have our own little tricks, and obviously, all in the goal of getting more and more detail and clarity on the surface. Beautiful, beautiful sunspots on a sun, a star, in the constellation of Lyra, another one of my favorite constellations. We talk about the constellation of Lyra, of course, one of the 48 listed by the second century astronomer Ptolemy. I don't say that anymore because they all are, all 48 of them. So, in reality, beginning at the north, Lyra is bordered by constellations of Hercules, Vulpecula, Cygnus, and Lyra is visible from the northern hemisphere from spring through autumn and nearly overhead in temperate latitudes during the summer months from the southern hemisphere. It is visible low in the northern sky during the winter months. Like right now, it is getting very low. Vega, beautiful star that I've posted many a times, a star that is actually um, connected with what I call an umbilical cord. And this is a photo I've added of Vega Star in Lyra. Beautiful nebulae underneath, and you can see how close it is to the star. But of course, it isn't close necessarily. It could be many thousands of kilometers away, maybe even light years away, obviously. But in space, we see things they are so big, and we see them far away, and we at times see they are close. It's the biggest controversy in science still today, um, the disputes and controversy about how far and how close some of these objects are, because, of course, take New York City, for example. You look at the buildings when you're close up in a helicopter at the city, and you can see the different levels of the buildings and heights and how far they are in the depth of field. But when you back out and you start flying away and you look back at New York, all the buildings will look side by side. Well, this is the principle of what's happening, um, when we look up in the sky. What is this? Listen, the other night, this was in the north sky, and I've clarified it a lot, and I've actually really happy to see the sphere inside. Look what's inside. We're looking at a spherical celestial object. It was flaring up, not the star itself. There was some kind of red dust literally around this celestial object. It's not the first planet I've seen or object with red dust around it. Um, Disturbance, these celestial objects look like they're being agitated. You could clearly see it in the photo. I've never seen anything this vast around a star or a planet. And look at the objects inside with this celestial object. I'm no professional, right? But do you not find that these celestial objects are close to one another? Maybe not, because of course, again, like I said, we're further out. But why am I seeing more light in the sky at night? And why are some of these stars that never were showing any radiation around them before are showing so much agitation around them? Something is going on for sure. Asteroids, um, if they touch or even go through, too close to a celestial object, it really can disturb it. What gases do some of these have? Are they dangerous or not? We don't know. Beautiful shot here the deep constellation. In Lyra, over top, a sun-like star. Underneath, too. These are beautiful objects. Look at the radiation that's around them. Can you imagine the size of it? These are very big, stars, and the light that they push out is incredible, can go for many light years out. And that's what fascinates me too, how far a light from a certain object can go out. You can just see here in close detail. I clarified many of the stars in Lyra. And guys, these are far back behind Lyra. So in reality, they could even be not in Lyra. Again, close, far, like the New York City. Who knows if some of these objects are not in Lyra, that could be further out. But of course, these two here did not have any particular labels in the Lyra constellation. But you see, it looks just like it's beside it. But they're big, They're very big. The luminosity from them really shine out. And a little, a couple minutes. Let's go back to the moon because we're looking at structures and greenery. I was talking to Steve Olson on WSO about this. Um, right, bro? About the greenery on the surface of the moon. Well, there is some there, whether it be trees or something that's has nothing to do with vegetation. Why would the moon not have any vegetation? You know, which is closer to the sun, the moon or Earth? There's a problem, isn't there? Seems to me when there's an eclipse and the sun's behind the moon and Earth is on this side of it all, well, I think the moon is closer. So if the moon is closer to the sun, would it not be warmer? And would it not be able to hold life and vegetation without exaggerating? OPH, nebula. Always thinking out of the box, get our minds going, because this is what we have to do. And like I said, I speculate, I added theories to my videos. It doesn't mean it is so. Everyone's allowed their opinion, as I. And I'm sharing it. I hope you will share your opinions also. This is the OPH nebula, Ophiuchus. Beautiful nebulae. Many stars, clusters, clouds, planet nebulae. Did you know that nebulae form planets inside, birthing stars in the constellation of Orion, in the Great Nebula of Orion? We're talking about the prime place for scientists today and probably all through the very important years of science and history. Birthing stars, stars giving birth inside of these clouds, the cloud complex, millions and billions of stars and planets that are interacting with one another. I mean, imagine traveling through these constellations, seeing it, actually seeing this with our own eyes. Thanks, everyone. A great big thank you to all of you who've subscribed, who've stopped by to comment, to support me, the contributions. One big family, this is what I want the channel to be. These are the website contributors, generous donors. The most recent, Brian Doucette, welcome, brother. Everyone that's on this list has generously donated so that we're going to get this telescope. It's already bought, it's ordered, it's on its way. Next week or the week after, it can't be any later than that. At one point, it is going to arrive here. Check out WSO YouTube channel, host Steve Olson. Hey, on Tuesday nights, we talk about sky, moon, anything important.